Goodie, and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the signature pose Extreme Super Battle Road stage. Now we're going to be taking this on with a full Ginyu Force free to play team. Signature pose, pretty strange category. In terms of a lead, I think you still only have the Intego tanks, and I think it's Gamma 2 who leads signature pose, so it's not got a lot of leads, and it's a very eclectic category. It's got like Gamma 1, Gamma 2, the Ginyu Force, it's got like Universe 11 characters, it's got Gotenks, Great Saiyaman, Great Saiyaman 2. It's a very strange kind of category. So putting together units for it is a pretty interesting affair. Fortunately though, we have some of the best free-to-play units in the game that we can use to take on this stage. Very solid units. So before we talk about the team, because obviously as you can tell it's the mighty Ginyu Force, we got some items that we're going to be using, mainly a Whis, a Princess Snake, Ghost Usher to help us set up, and we've got a mouse to kind of double up with the Whis. Yeah, so pretty good stuff. Now obviously this team, although free to play, there is a lot of work involved. So firstly you have to get Team Ginyu, then you have to EZA them, which requires you to also have Team Bardock, and then on top of all of that as well, you also have to get the battlefield currency LRs and EZA them as well, which means the tech Ginyu and the physical Ginyu. So it's quite a lot of work. Honestly speaking, it is pretty difficult. But once you have them, they are a super duper solid, like very high level content friendly team that can do really well in a lot of content. So they're really solid. I still love using them. I think they're just really cool and they're so synergistic, and it's just really awesome. So we'll talk about the team. Obviously we have the physical Ginyu, very strong unit, support unit, very strong defensively after super, very similar with the tech Ginyu. Also a great support unit with lots of strength, lots of really solid foundational work, and also again really boosts the rest of our team after a super attack. We are using the Planet Namek support memory, which gives us 15% additional attack and defense for all our Planet Namek Saga units. I think it's a pretty good one, considering obviously the entire Ginyu Force is on Planet Namek Saga, so it does tend to make them a little bit stronger. We have the Inter-Captain Ginyu. He's pretty crucial, so a couple of things are important to know about Inter-Captain Ginyu. Firstly, okay, he as a unit has damage reduction when facing two enemies. This is something that's very important because in the multi-enemy fight, if you layer on damage reduction with them, he gets pretty strong. However, because of how tough Esbr hits, he's really not able to cope so well with it on his own. Like before in like the Esbr, his tankiness used to be really good. He can now still take quite a bit of chip damage from normal attacks because of how hard the enemies hit, so just keep that in mind. He also seals on his super attacks, so that's super helpful. Then we have Gildo. Gildo does a lot. He lowers attack and defense, he seals, he stuns. He's a lot of utility for our team, which is obviously super duper helpful. Then alongside that we also have the strength Jace. Jace is obviously super duper awesome, does a lot as a unit, so we can see enemy super attacks, and he also gives us support as well, so lots and lots of utility coming from Jace. Then we have Raccoon. So Raccoon is pretty good. He's a little bit RNG centric, so he does need to proc his guard, which obviously we need to kind of kick in. But if you can get the guard to proc, then he's really tanky, and once he's built up a couple of hits, he'll be more than fine. So he's a good tanky option to help set up our other units. And then obviously we have the friend lead AGL Captain Ginyu, who just does a huge chunk of damage. AGL Captain Ginyu is great, especially on a full Ginyu Force team. This guy can still really rock it like super duper well, and you'll see him like usually put out some pretty big numbers. He also has attack effect against all types as well, which is super helpful, and this means that, like you'll see in the next fight, we can have him target like tech enemies and he can eliminate them, which is super duper helpful. So Captain Ginyu, really good. I really like the space the team is in. Like I said, there's a lot of hard work to put together this free-to-play team. Just because it's free-to-play doesn't mean it's easy. But putting them together does let you conquer a lot of the game. These guys can be used on Terrifying Conquerors, Dynamic Saga, Ginyu Force, Signature Pose, Space Traveling Warriors, so many different categories. And you can use them to pretty much beat most of the high level content. They can even do red zone stages, provided you have an AGL Captain Ginyu of your own. So a very, very, very good synergistic team that runs really, really well, and I'm super duper happy with how they did. I think obviously if you could change anything, bringing your own AGL Captain Ginyu lead is pretty big. Plus you also have the Strength Raccoon and Gildo, and then of course alongside that as well you also have the Int Chase and Berta. All three of which would really elevate this team a lot, but aren't absolutely necessary. I think overall just a very, very solid foundation to work off of, and if you add those units in, you get just a far more efficient version, variant of the team. For me, anything else really, obviously Signature Pose, I think the big thing is what kind of version of the team you run. Now I do think if you've got Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, you can run a good hybrid team, because they make a really, really good rotation, so you can run them as a rotation. I think Gotenks is still very usable here because of his stunning capabilities in his second form. I think he's still really, really solid. So you just need to maybe fiddle around a bit. It is one of those categories if you can't put together this free-to-play team. You may have to just juggle units a bit and yeah, just find out what works for you. Work on 2 separate rotations, try and find some support, try and float people around, just try and make things work, generally speaking. But yeah, overall, honestly, just pretty good stuff. And yeah, I think at the end of the day, a really, really, really good team run that honestly just had pretty much everything we need. The Ginyu Force has just got so much utility and good work and just everything that comes together that I just, don't really have any major complaints. I think the team works super duper well. I think everything works together super nicely. And I think at the end of the day, the units are great. Obviously there's a lot of effort involved, but I think with that effort you get rewarded. So yeah, definitely something to consider. But that's basically gonna be it for me. We're gonna wrap things up here, kind of finish things off a little bit, and yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what team you put together. I'd love to hear it. But yeah, ultimately at the end of the day, I think the Ginyu Force is up there. I think they're a very, very solid team, and they provide a lot of great utility. So yeah, but that's gonna be it for me. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next one. So until then, as always, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.